It's gonna be on Zoom.
Good evening and welcome to the Town of Belgrade Planning Board meeting of July 16, 2026. It's exactly 6 p.m. And we're gonna start our meeting with call for order and roll call. Tonight in the meeting, we have Mr. Nick Sakharov, Mrs. Penny Morale, Mr. George Seal, Mr. Craig Alexander, Mr. Hanson Smoothen, our CEO. On Zoom today, we have Mr. Nick Alexander and myself, Sarah Langet. So with that said, I will invite the people in the audience to introduce themselves.
Peter Dion.
All right,
Good evening, thank you for coming, Bruce Edberg.
thank you.
Susan Sampson.
All right.
Mike Bollinger.
Thank you, I appreciate it very much. So that said, the first call of order is, item A in the agenda. Actually, I take that back. We have today, election of officials. So, we are missing Mr. Baker. We can go ahead and do that today. You see Mrs. Morales, taking Mr. Baker's place. You're the number one alternate for today, you're present. So we have five in the board, and we have a quorum, of course. So it's up to you guys. We can do the elections today without Mr. Baker, or we can choose to wait to have Mr. Baker in, because he's the actual sitting member of the committee.
I don't think it matters as long as Rich isn't being nominated.
One second,
Okay. So we're voting then on that we're gonna proceed with the election officials. So let's vote. Mr. Sakara,
Yes.
Mrs. Morale,
Yes.
Mr. Seal,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander, and me, Sarah, is 5 in favor, none opposed. All right, so we usually have the town manager to do this, to take the nominations. So somebody has to take the nominations for chair,
Okay,
and I'm gonna let you lead that. We're gonna be
All right.
deciding.
very good. So the floor is open for nominations for chairman of the Town of Belgrade Planning Board.
Yeah, I nominate Sarah Langet, chair. I vote.
Is there a second?
one second.
And any other nominations? Any discussions? Sarah, do you accept?
I will accept.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
Let's vote.
Let's vote, yeah, then we're gonna.
It doesn't quite.
Well, you got 2 for, all right, so vote on the acceptance.
And.
I'm sorry?
Vote.
How do you vote for
Chair?
Sarah to be chair?
Oh, yes.
George, yes.
Yes.
Unanimous decisions.
Yes, so. Right. So now that I'm the chair, I will open nominations for vice chair.
I'll nominate so much.
So we have a nomination for Mr. Seal. Do I have a second?
I second that.
By Mr. Sakara will second that. Do we have, Mr. Seal, do you accept the nomination?
Yes.
All right, so do we have any further discussion or questions?
As long as you don't promise to be away too long.
Yeah.
Do we have any further discussion? I hear no, this vote.
Yes.
Mr. Carroll,
Yes.
Mr. Rob, Mr. Seal,
Yes.
yeah, Mr. Alexander. And me, so long as 5 yeses and none opposed. So we got a chair, we got a vice chair. Congratulations to everyone. Condolences. So, item A in the agenda today is the application for Peter Dino Location 970 Manchester Road, map 2, lot 4A. The purpose is a subdivision. This is I think it's the third or fourth time this application comes in. And I think we got, last time we got it all wrapped up. We got a page of the number of waivers that Mr. Dean had requests. So we have to change that in the application. See here.
There is an email from one of the abutters that had concerns.
Okay,
Um,
Can I address that a little bit?
what's that?
Can I address that a little bit?
Yes, you may.
You mentioned something about the Bog Road, 3 houses going on there, there's no 3 houses going on.
Exactly.
There's just one house, plans on being just one house. So. That he can maintain his driveway however he wants it.
Yeah, it's on his property entirely, so
Yeah.
he has a responsibility.
You guys mind if I read the email?
Go ahead.
Just for the record.
Get that public record.
The email is from Mr. Constance Tom. And he addressed it to Mr. Rasmussen. He said, unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to attend the meeting tonight at 6 p.m. So this actually came through at 2 o'clock. That's what we've been having our packages. However, I do have a few questions that I would like you to present at the meeting if possible, and we're doing so. Number one, how does Mr. Dion intend to maintain the Buck Road, seeing that it is a dirt road with numerous potholes? With the added traffic for 3 houses, this will need to be addressed. Since no new road or driveways will be created with direct access to the road. So we are clarifying that it's not 3 houses.
Now, he's misunderstanding, it's 3 houses total in the whole property, and one's already been sold. It's a large property.
Yeah.
And we're just. Breaking it up, it's not a subdivision really to speak of. It is, but it isn't, because in a few months it won't be. So. There's not 3 houses being built up in where Pete's gonna build his house. Whatever you want.
No additional homes.
No additional homes. So I hope that answered,
Well, there's gonna be one additional home. His,
Hmm.
okay. So, I hope that answers Mr. Storm's question number 1. Number 2 is regarding the Buck Road, how will snow removal be handled?
whatever you want.
Same as it has been.
So. Can I ask Mr. Dion a question?
Sure,
Put this in context, because the address for, are we correct? This is a gentleman versus a woman, Connie?
She lives that first house on the bottom of the
Yeah.
street.
Okay, so,
She plows like just past her driveway, and she stops plowing,
okay,
so she can get her in her.
so it's a
driveway.
shared driveway,
I'll have to I don't snow, I snowball, not plow, but I'll have to snowball up to my drive.
So right now it is. Ms. Stum is the only occupant on that
Yeah.
drive,
but
right?
the Bog
No,
Road,
it
Bog
will be
Road is
shared.
entirely on your property though, right?
Well, the deeds that's in now says she owns to the center line on her side, I own from the center line.
so it's a mutual easement.
Yes,
So
But it's only a short section.
it's,
Anyway, you've answered my question, it's not our concern.
No.
It's up between the 2 of you,
Yes,
Right,
because it's not part of the subdivision,
no,
per se, it's not a subdivision road,
It's not
the
a
driveway.
no,
Yeah, I'm sorry
Yeah.
that I said it was Mrs. and Mrs. I apologize for that. So I guess that answered that question, that is something that they're gonna have, the owners of the property have to decide on your own, the the town has nothing to do with that. All right, number 3, and finally, for now, what will be the impact on the water table once the houses have wells? So, we're talking only about the additional one home and,
19 acres.
Yeah.
And a bog.
That's not.
Hard to conceive that 3 residential wells, drilled wells, will have any significant drawdown on groundwater table, particularly given that you have surface water on 2 sides, that contributes to that groundwater table, so, barring somebody putting, a data center there, and extracting that much groundwater, it's inconceivable to me that this will have
any impact.
any significant
You don't
impact
think there'll be
whatsoever.
any impact on Bog Road?
Well, or, even if it was a household full of teenagers, I just don't, the amount of gallonage that would be used, it just wouldn't draw down the groundwater table. Even if it was, particularly if it was a dug well.
So I think that covers all her questions. She would like to see, somehow, or a transcript of the notes. What happens, Mrs. Storm, is that the minutes for this meeting will be presented at the next meeting, which is August 6th. And once those are approved, they are attached to the website. So that's the way the notes do come about.
I guess it's worth noting that if she could watch the YouTube video
As well, yeah.
on the town's YouTube channel, just by Googling Belgrade YouTube channel.
Belgrade main YouTube channel.
Belgrade, yeah.
Otherwise you get
First
Serbia.
Serbia.
Montana.
Or Montana.
Well, for me, the easiest way to do it is to go to the Belgrade Town website, then click Selectmen. And in the Selectmen, there's a site that says videos, and you tap on that, and it gives you all the videos for all the governance of the town, all the committees and everything else.
I don't know if that's the easiest.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you're
Keep that again, when you get the new. No.
well, so anyways, I'm sorry to do that, so it seems to be easy to. And I'll do the courtesy of sending her the link to her email. So I will have that in my things to do for the morning. But tomorrow morning I will send her the link. So that said, we move in to continue with the application with Mr. Dion here. So we did got a list of all the waivers that he asked for. And I'm gonna read through them very quickly here. Request waivers under section 4, additional submissions and for major subdivisions as found. So there's a waiver for, originally the application would say that he didn't ask for any waivers. So we had to change that in the paperwork. Because there's 8 waivers requested for.
Actually, there's 10. Fine.
I appreciate you thinking that. Thank you. So, we have one for a phosphorus control plan. When construction on the homestead, that is planned, commences, started erosion and runoff control practices will be employed. Number 1. Number 2, hydrogeologic assessment is not located over a sand or gravel aquifer. There's no reasonable presumption of water potability issues as a result of contamination. Done. Number 3 and number 4, together, a stormwater management plan. The access road is already established. 1 residential structure will be built with a driveway off the existing gravel road. Number 5, a highway intensity soil survey. Good soils, current septic systems present on the adjacent properties. Number 6, for the FEMA map, there's no portion of the property is within the flood map. That's for the, flood assessment aspect. Number 7, none of the areas of the subdivision are designated as unique natural area. Number 8, no portion of the subdivision is listed in the National Registry of Historic Places. Additional waivers, requests for final plan are an estimate of the amount and type of vehicular traffic. No driveways are to be added to the public road. Traffic input analysis, no applicable for the nature of the subdivision. So there are the 10 of them, and the subdivision application, we have to say that yes, there are waivers requested, and he's gonna have to send, we're gonna have to attach this page to that. Right after that, it's in the bottom page, I think, on the second page. The waiver request.
Number 6 isn't really a waiver request, it basically complies with the requirement of the ordinance to provide the mapping of the floodplain, which doesn't impact the subdivision. All the others are. That doesn't really kind of fit here, but just so we're clear.
Thank you. Something in one of those pages is in the bottom of the page. Is the waiver request.
Oh, yeah,
On
number 25.
25. It's a yes, and it's a total of nine waivers, and we have them all in this page that we're gonna attach to that somehow. Gotta sign that up.
You need to initially.
So are we ready for a motion?
And we're all has a question, but that,
It says, does it mean number 9, no driveways are added to a public road, isn't their driveway to their house when we added?
Yeah, it's going off the Bog Road, which is a private road.
It's private road, and then it's gonna be a driveway going up private road.
But the other 2 lots will access a public road, but that particular requirement requires far more traffic than 3 residences will generate. And is more appropriate for when you have a large subdivision with a subdivision road entering a public road. So say a 10 lot or 25 lot subdivision. I don't remember the numbers from the board, but and so, we're talking at, probably 6 vehicles or something like that, 2 per residence.
but you wanna add this down?
I've got,
You got it, great question. So, so that said, I think that was all that we requested last time. Wasn't it, or there was more?
The maps.
Yeah,
The map here.
yeah, no, that.
The new maps.
That is the substantial piece. But we do need to vote on this.
So now,
And the other thing too, just as a formality, Beyond should really initial and date the original as part of the
you just did.
project file.
excellent, thank you.
I would make a motion to approve all 9 waiver requests on the basis that each of them are either not applicable or site conditions of and the proposal are such that it warrants their approval.
Excellent. Go
I
ahead.
second that.
So we have a motion from Mr. Seal and a second from Mrs. Sakara. Any further discussion? I see none. We're voting. Mrs. Sakara,
Yes.
Mrs. Morel,
Yes.
Mr. Seal,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander,
Yes,
and Mr. Longoria say yes, so it's 5 in favor, none opposed. So, next, the motion will be to find this all, the application, the form
Preliminary.
complete.
Preliminary, we have yet to. Vote on whether we have a complete preliminary application,
Okay,
and then we can move on to the final application, which includes revised drawings.
all right. So we need a motion to that, huh?
Yes, I'll make a motion that we now would have a complete preliminary application for Mr. Dion's subdivision.
Second,
So we have a motion for Mr. Seal and a second for Mr. Alexander on the completeness of the preliminary application for the subdivision. So do we have further discussion? See none, let's vote. Mrs. Zakaro,
Yes.
Mrs. Morale,
Yes.
Mr. Seal,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander,
yes,
and Mr. Longoria, 5 in favor, none opposed. Motion carries. So now we're moving for the stage of final.
A question, were the superintendent of schools, who else?
Fire department
Yeah, were they all
and the
notified?
road commissioner were sent letters
Okay, very
at the
good.
same time as all the abutters.
Thank you, Vince. Didn't hear anything from them, I see.
Fire department, superintendent of schools and.
Road
Road
commissioner
commissioner,
and fire department.
again, in a small subdivision like this, wouldn't be more formality, it might be more substantive in large subdivision where. There are questions about whether the town road can handle it or whatever, fire department. Can we take a moment to look at the final drawing? There's a line, so we go. Oh, very, very good.
No. So we have any other questions, concerns? The drawings are in good, stance and do contain what we requested from Mr. Dean to, add last time. Right here in my notes.
Good luck with that.
Um. Yeah, we have all this. Yeah, I'll check on that, Then we're all in the, everything that we asked for to be done for today is done. So, so from here, we'll proceed with the findings of fact and conclusion of law. Alright? So, thank you. So, this is a formality more than anything, so be in the record, so you should bear with us.
Well, it legally justifies our decisions in case his error is challenged, so it's a legal requirement.
So, just, harness your buckles and let's go for this trip. So, findings of fact and conclusion of law. Subdivision final plan approval, title Belgrade subdivision ordinance, Belgrade planning board. These findings of fact and conclusion of law were developed in conjunction with consideration of the permit application and public record. Findings of fact, the type of subdivision is minor, the applicant is Peter Dion. His mailing address is in Manchester Road, 970 Manchester Road, Belgrade, Maine. Subdivision name is Dion Estates. Date of application was May 14th, 2026. Number of lots created are 3, not housing, lots created. Was a written waiver request submitted? The answer is yes. Cite the sections for which waivers are approved. Okay, we can pick the ordinance on that. I know it's, it was section 4. Section 4, additional submissions and for new subdivisions, I guess.
Yeah, it's section 2. Article 5. Section 2. (2D). So Article 5, section 2D. That applies to all. Maybe I spoke too soon.
Section 4, additional submissions for major subdivisions.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm right. I couldn't remember where the National Register of Historic Places was, if that was in D or C.
So, so it's, Article 5, section 2D or section 4? Beginning.
In the preliminary, there is no section 4.
Yeah, this is fine.
So we got section 2 is mandatory submissions for minor subdivisions. That's 2. D, 2D is additional submissions for minor subdivision preliminary plan that may be required, and that's for phosphorus. All the items that waivers were requested. Phosphorus control plan, the hydrogeologic assessment. Historical areas. Yeah. Anyway, they're all listed there.
Okay. So Article 5, Section 2D.
D,
I always think that I'm so clever having all this in the computer and you guys always beat me to it. Alright, so cited ordinance sections, Article 5, Section 2D of the subdivision of
Article 6, actually, sorry.
Article 6. Section 2D of the Belgrade subdivision ordinance. Alright. Date of approval of the waiver is today. So will be July 16. How very long, huh? 2026. Board rationale for approval of denials. So there was an approval. Of the board. To 9 waivers.
Skylight here.
Included. And the preliminary. Application. I would say to refer to the preliminary application
Or
for
you could just say based on public record.
approval was deemed based on public record. All right, 1 page out of 9. Conclusions of law. Based upon the application materials, testimony, statements, evidence, documents, and other materials submitted to it, the above findings of fact and Belgrade Planning Board concludes based on the applicable performance, design, construction, and other materials of the ordinance and the following statutory review criteria of Title 30A MRSA 4404 and Article 1, Section 2 of the ordinance that proposed subdivision. Pollution will not result in undue water or air pollution. The answer is yes, that it will not result in it. Based on public records and submittals. And from now, we're gonna call that PRAS. So the answer is yes, that it will not result in undue water or air pollution. We voting. Mrs. Sakara,
Yes.
Mrs. Morales,
Yes.
Mr. Shield,
Yes,
Mr. Alexander.
Yes.
And me, Sarah Langet, is 5 in favor, none opposed. Sufficient water, has sufficient water available for the reasonable foreseeable needs of the subdivision. The answer is yes. based on PRAS. And we're gonna vote, Mr. Scar,
Yes.
Mrs. Morale,
Yes.
Mr. Seal,
Yes,
Mr. Alexander.
Yes,
And me, Sarah Longet is 5 in favor, none opposed. Okay, municipal water supply will not cause any unreasonable burden and exist on an existing municipal drinking water supply if it is to be utilized. The answer is NA. That's correct? NA.
yeah,
So we don't vote on that one. Erosion will not cause unreasonable soil erosion or reduction in the capacity of the land to hold water so that a dangerous or unhealthy condition results. The answer is that yes, it will not result in that based on PRAS. And we're gonna vote. Mr. Sakara,
Yes.
Mrs. Morale,
Yes.
Mr. Seal,
yes,
Mr. Alexander,
yes,
and Mr. Longet is yes, so it's 5 in favor, none opposed. Traffic will not cause unreasonable highway or public road congestion or unsafe conditions with respect to use of highways or public roads existing or proposed, and if the proposed subdivision requires drivers or entrances onto a state or state aid highway. The Maine Department of Transportation has provided documentation indicating that the drivers or entrance conform to Title 23, subsection 704, and any rules adopted under that section. The answer is yes, based on PRAS, and we're going to vote. Mr. Sakara, oh,
Isn't NA?
I just wanted to ask Mr. Dion a question if I could.
sure,
So, Mr. Dion, we don't actually have copies of those, as far as I know, of the road entrance permits from DOT for the 2 existing driveways. Obviously, yours is pre-existing, so it doesn't require one. Do you know, I assume they obtained them where the driveways wouldn't be there, but you know,
No,
Never checked. I mean. Those driveways have been there for years. So,
well, the 2 new ones haven't.
that when I bought.
Since 22.
Bill, that was already there. I mean, I extended it, but. it
Yeah,
was
the
already-
bog road's not at issue.
no, not the
No,
bog road.
yes. The second one was already there. So all the driveways, well, I don't know about the one in the field on
Yeah,
the one that's about ready to knock off, but.
yeah, no, I know that they're there. I'm just asking, did they obtain the necessary permit from the Department of Transportation for access to Route 135, a state highway?
He didn't own that other lot. And his was already previously there.
Right, so it's just the one lot that's in question. Is that what you're saying?
There was really no lot in question.
So the nine.
So-
The bog road's already there.
Right,
That he built, that he's selling, was already there. That third one down, trailer,
yeah,
who knows? That was.
well,
really
that's what I'm
nothing-
asking.
That had really nothing to do with him. And he didn't own it at the time.
Okay, right.
I don't know when that trail was put in. 18, 17, 18, I think 15, I'm not sure when that trail was put in.
Well. It was broke off, what, 4 years and 9 months ago.
Yeah. But the important point that you made on his behalf is that you didn't own that lot when that driveway was
No,
constructed.
He didn't own that.
So can't very well be held responsible for that. I'm all set.
okay, are we voting? All right. Mr. Sakara?
Yes.
Mrs. Morel?
Yes.
Mr. Seal?
Yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Yes,
And me, Sarah Longet, is a yes, 5 in favor, none opposed. We're moving to page 3. Sewage disposal will provide for adequate sewage disposal and will not cause an unreasonable burden on municipal service if any are utilized. The answer to that is yes, that it will provide for adequate sewage disposal based on PRAS. Any discussion? I see none. We're voting. Mrs. Sakara,
Yes.
Mrs. Morale,
Yes.
Mr. Seal,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander,
yes,
and me, Sarah Langet, is 5 in favor and not opposed. Municipal solid waste disposal will not cause an unreasonable burden on municipal ability to dispose of solid waste if municipal service are to be utilized. Will not, so that's a yes, based on PRAS. And we have further discussion? I hear none, so we're gonna vote. Mrs. Sakara,
Yes.
Mrs. Morale,
Yes.
Mr. Seal,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander,
yes,
and Mr. Ranget is 5 in favor, none opposed. Aesthetic, cultural, and natural values will not have an undue adverse effect on the scenic and natural beauty of the area, aesthetics, history sites, significant wildlife habitat identified by the Maine Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife or the municipality, or rare and irreplaceable natural areas or any public rights or for physical or visual access to the shoreline. The answer is NA. It doesn't have what,
Well, we granted waivers to some of those, so
so it's yes then.
yes, it's
It's
yes.
a yes based on PRAS. Any further discussion? So we want to vote. Mrs. Sakara,
Yes.
Mrs. Morale,
Yes.
Mr. Seal,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander,
yes,
and Mr. Longet is yes, it's 5 in favor, none opposed. Conformity with local ordinances and plans is in conformance with duly adopted comprehensive plan, development plan, land use plan, if any. The answer is yes, based on PRAS. Do we have any further discussion? I hear none. We're voting. Mr. Sakara,
Yes.
Mrs. Morales,
Yes.
Mr. Seal,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander,
yes,
and Mr. Rangel is a yes, that's 5 yeses, none opposed. Financial and technical capacity. Applicant has adequate financial and technical capacity to meet the review criteria of the ordinance. The answer is yes. Based on PRAS. I just don't have any evidence of that though.
I would argue that this is not applicable because of the after effect nature of the subdivision. I mean, the monies have already been spent.
That's been, that's right.
And there's no road construction, there's no infrastructure. That would generate the need to show particular financial capacity or technical capacity for that matter. So I would argue that it's not applicable.
I'll go with that.
Okay. All right. Do we have to vote on that is not applicable?
No,
No. Okay, move to the next one. Page 4. Surface waters, outstanding river segments will not, whenever situated entirely or partially within the watershed of any pond or lake or within 250 feet of any wetland, lake, pond, river. As defined by Title 38, Section 435 through 490, adversely or unreasonable affect the shorelines of such body waters. The answer is yes, that it would not affect based on PRAS. Do we have any further discussion? So I hear none, we voted, Mr. Sakara,
Yes.
Mrs. Morale,
Yes.
Mr. Seal,
Yes,
Mr. Alexander,
Yes.
and Mr. Langeles, 5 in favor, none opposed. Groundwater will not, alone or in conjunction with existing activities, adversely affect the quality and quantity of the groundwater. The answer is yes, that it will not do that based on PRAS. Do we have further discussion? I hear none, so we proceed to vote. Mr. Sakara,
Yes.
Mrs. Morale,
Yes.
Mr. Seal,
yes,
Mr. Alexander,
Yes.
and Michelle Langeles said yes, it's for 5 in favor, none opposed. Flood areas. Based on the Federal Emergency Management Agency flood boundaries and floodway maps and flood insurance rate maps. And information presented by the applicant, the subdivision or any part of it is in the is in a flood prone area. The answer is no. In the subdivision or any part of it is in such an area that the applicant shall determine the 100-year flood elevation and flood hazard boundaries with the subdivision. The proposed subdivision or project plan must include a condition of plan approval requiring that the principal structures in the subdivision will not be constructed in the lowest floor, including basement, at least 1 foot above the 100 flood elevation. This provision has been met. I guess that's NA, isn't it?
yes.
It will be NA. Right,
And the first part is no.
that's right. So we got that covered. And we don't have to vote on it, do we?
We do.
We do. Okay, I always get trapped in this one, do the same thing. Right, any further discussion? I hear none, we're gonna vote. Mrs. Sakara,
So no.
so it's a favorable to a no. Okay? Mrs. Morale,
No.
no. Mr. Seal, sorry.
No,
Mr. Alexander,
No.
and Mr. Longoria said no. Favoring the no is 5 in favor of the no. And we had none opposed to that, all right? So freshwater lands. All freshwater wetlands within the proposed subdivision has been identified on any maps submitted as part of the application, regardless of the size of these wetlands. The answer is yes.
it's actually innate for wetlands on the subdivision property.
Okay,
Yeah, they provided that.
NA, so we're not voting on that one. All right, thank you. Farmland. All farmland within the proposed subdivision has been identified on maps submitted as part of the application. That's the NA. All right, thank you. Next one, river, stream, or brook. Any river, stream, or brook within or avoiding the proposed subdivision has been identified on maps submitted as part of the subdivision. And there's none of that here, is it?
No,
It's just the
close but no cigar.
I know, the road being called Bog Road is, it figures in my head, so it's NA. All right. Stormwater, the proposed subdivision will provide adequate stormwater management. The answer is yes on that. Based on PRAS. Do we have any further discussion on that?
Should be noted that we waive
Right. since we waived it with BNA, we still.
I think so,
Yeah.
yeah.
We waived it, so it's not happening.
Okay, so. But we waived it because he said he was gonna. In the waiver, he said he was gonna use. That was for the phosphorus control, no?
Yes. Right.
Um,
So
I get those mixed up two or same times, but. So let's just say it's NA. All right. Sorry about that. The spaghetti lots prohibited. One or more lots in the proposed subdivision has frontage on a river, stream, brook, or great pond. The answer is no.
And then,
And also all that will be in A two, because the next one says one or more lots proposed within the subdivision qualify as a prohibited spaghetti lot, and the answer is NA. And then, so all that is based on PRAS. On this one, we have to vote. Isn't it?
the first part,
Of the first part. So, the first part being in no, that we don't have any of that in here. We're gonna vote in favor of the no or opposed to the no. Mrs. Sakara? No.
Yeah, no.
Thank you. Mrs. Morale?
No.
Mr. Seal?
no,
Mr. Alexander?
no,
And Mr. Rolangit is a no as well, so 5 in favor of the no and 0 opposed. Okay, we're moving in to page 6 out of 9. Lake phosphorus concentration. The long-term cumulative effects of the proposed subdivision will not unreasonably increase a great pond's phosphorus concentration during the construction phase or the life of the proposed subdivision. The answer is that yes, it will not. Based on PRAS. And we had a waiver for that too, for the control plan on that. So is this an NA too, or?
It's providing.
provided an explanation that he was gonna use the best management practices.
Okay, so we gotta go.
Yeah.
Okay, so, I'm gonna put here that also a waiver was provided. Waiver. Was. Right. Okay, so, Mr. Carr,
Yes.
Mrs. Morale,
Yes.
Mr. Shield,
yes,
Mr. Alexander. And Mr. Rodriguez is 5 in favor, none opposed. Impact on adjoining municipality. For the proposed subdivision that crosses municipal boundaries, the subdivision will not cause unreasonable traffic congestion or unsafe conditions with respect with the use of assisted public ways in adjoining municipalities in part how the subdivision is located. So that is any. And we're not voting on that. Yeah. Next one is land subject to liquidation harvesting. And I think all that is NA, I know. Timber harvesting have been conducted on the parcel being subdivided in 5 years prior to the date of the subdivision application submitted. The answer is no. Less than 5 years have an elapsed purchase date by the landowner under whose ownership the timber harvesting occurred and the subdivision application submission. The answer to that is no, right? Or NA. NA, thank you. The Bureau of Forest or Maine Professional Forest License pursuant Title 32, Chapter 76 have provided with written finding and determination of the planning board for the timber harvesting on the parcel being subdivided was conducted in violation of the Maine Forestry Timber Harvesting rules regarding the liquidation harvesting adopted under Title 12 MSRA Section 8A69, and that's NA as well. So we voted on this on the first one. Yeah, so, any further discussion? So we're gonna vote favorable on the no again. So we're gonna say no. So, Mr. Zakar,
No,
Mrs. Morale.
No.
Mr. Shields,
No,
Mr. Alexander,
No,
and Mr. Lemire said no, so it's 5 in favor of the no and none opposed to that. So, page 7, sorry. Therefore, the town of Belgrade approve section of the following conditions of the application of Peter Dion. For subdivision name, Dion States. Describing the finding of fact above. That will be yes, and, so we're gonna be voting on that. Should we read the conditions of approval before, doing the final vote, because this is kind of the final vote.
right.
Yeah, so the standard conditions of approval are Article 10, Section 2. The standard conditions of approval shall be listed on the final plan to be recorded in the register of deeds. If the board approval of the subdivision is limited to that described on the application and depicted in the final plan and all the application submittals, except to the extent that the board has specifically indicated in its findings of fact and law that certain depictions may be revised by applicant without further review and approval of the board. Any changes to the application, final plan, and other supporting application submissions must receive prior approval of the board, including but not limited to changes in the location of the structures, roads, parking vehicle, road entrance, and exits, drinking water wells, wastewater disposal, stormwater management, and phosphorus analysis and control plans. Unless a waiver from a specific ordinance standard has been requested by the applicant in writing and approved by the board, the subdivision is required to meet all applicable ordinance requirements. And that's it. Didn't we put the request to this friend in the drawing already? And the request was to follow best practices or something like that. Wait,
For soil erosion, there's a note already on the drawing to that effect.
should we add that here? Or did what I read already cover it?
Yeah, no, I think, standard condition 1 to cover that,
Okay, good,
because that, we're approving that plan and.
Yeah.
so-
okay. So we're gonna put a note here, this on the road. Alright, so this is final vote. Any further discussion? So, Mr. Sakara,
yes,
Mrs. Morale,
Yes.
Mr. Shield,
Yes,
Mr. Alexander.
yes,
And Mr. Longet is 5 in favor, none opposed. And we have conclusions of, findings of fact and conclusion of law all done. So you got a permit?
thank you.
we gotta sign that,
Yeah.
we have to sign this.
We got to sign
Yeah.
the drawing.
No conditions of approval or to be put on there.
It's already on there, the one.
Okay. Good.
what does the, tax assessor do with the copy that goes to him? Does he just use it to update his records?
Oh, it's a different office.
Not your job, I know.
You know, there's only 8 pages here. There's not a 9 page.
That's-
It's that the last page is my signatures, remember, page 8. It might throw you off because you're gonna be looking for 9 pages,
Yeah,
I think it's the.
109,
Okay,
then that's the last one there.
The registered deeds.
All right.
Black and white.
There's no
I
nine,
think I shortened it.
it's fine.
Next slide, that's about the way.
Right here, you left it right on this?
No, it's.
Yeah,
blue.
no, I know it's blue though, it's not black.
Oh, you want a black one?
Yeah,
I
the
got one.
registry of deeds requires black and
Oh,
blue.
I didn't know that, I'm glad you said so. I always sign in blue, so I was worried.
Huh?
It really messed me up.
Something like that.
Open up to.
All food now.
Our sons couldn't sign their name if their lives depended on
It's just thought, it was not.
it.
Registered deeds.
Mhm.
Since they can deliver that one.
Yeah.
You start,
Do you need any?
simple those, huh?
So when we got.
We gotta leave one sign
No, that's fine.
Barbara.
here, that I'm
Copy
putting a
that
file.
goes to the,
Okay.
Tax assessor,
You can probably throw
and
it.
a copy that goes to the registry of deeds.
Yeah,
Does
yeah,
don't mind.
there's 3 that they signed that I need to keep,
Okay.
and you can take
Take the
those.
black.
Yeah.
I can bring the registered deeds tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. I wasn't sure how that.
7/16.
2026, right?
Thank you.
No, it's torturous, but.
Out of the process.
He signed it in blue, he signed it over at black.
What is the real calls? What time does?
The registry of deeds work it out.
They close at 9.
So
Sunset Grill closes at 9?
Yeah, but usually they start closing at the kitchen around 8:30.
All right.
Real time, yes.
Texas Roadhouse, I think, stopped serving at 9 an hour.
I have to do know on the way. Another board, You know, we need,
Use the extras to walk it.
this is what round 3, right? I just paid for them, the $400 for 3 rounds.
All right.
And there was on the map, the same.
Then we take it back to second room.
100 more. Get some more.
No, you get extra pence anyway.
Also.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Good evening.
Peter, those are yours too, if you want them,
Oh, okay.
This was round 2.
from last time. It's missing that first lot.
Thank you. All right. So. Um. So next, order of business is the application of Mr. Bruce Enger. Location is 85 Lynch Cove Drive
Yes,
Road.
well, I guess it's right away. I called it a road too, but I guess it's right away. I don't know.
Okay, so map 22, lot 3, purpose is demo and rebuild camp, no conforming lot. So that said, we had a number of requests last meeting for Mr. Amber here. And we got a nice sketch here of the elevation.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I worked hard on the next one,
yeah,
the site plan.
yeah. And let me see one that was. Was that,
That was it, the site plan and the elevation drawing.
we also need a number of the contractor.
Yeah, they said that's on record. He's,
Dave Stevens, I've got it.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once are the two drawings that are in our file here, are they the same?
You're supposed to have 2 pages.
Yeah.
You may have. One's a side, are they
Maybe I
stapled?
got yours.
They're stapled?
I think I just got an extra.
That's it.
So, I got a quick question here. So from in the drawing that's, it's a top view. Where you demonstrate the current camp and then the proposed camp. From the back of the proposed camp to the road, what is the distance?
The driveway is 88 feet, and then there's maybe 3 feet from the driveway to the back of the camp on either. I'm not changing the back on the proposed or what's there, the same back, same distances.
So when you say driveway, is a driveway that goes parallel to the lake?
No,
No, perpendicular.
That's the right of way at the top. The driveway's listed right to this driveway. Comes down to the rock wall. That's 88 feet, you know, 3 feet beyond that.
Yep.
And this is your entire lot.
That's the entire, yep,
well, on that side of the right of way,
right,
he's got acres that are outside of shoreline zone. On the other side of the
all the way to
Castle
Main
Island Road.
Road, Castle Island Road, yeah. They all do, they all have that,
Oh, is that right?
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well, my aunt, who owned all this originally. They all, Mr. Crane owned the subdivision, they all bought from Mr. Crane and he, a lot of people didn't buy the back lots. They chose not to, they don't need it, my aunt asked if she could, so she bought the back lots, which is probably a wise move. But it's funny, the land has got a dog leg and I hired a woman that showed up to the poll, and if you wanna do that, she trains you for the state. And she said that her pole pulls off a satellite, pulls off a cell phone, she claims it was within inches. And I walked along beside her, and I had my hammer, and I had stakes. Cause I never get it,
So the one that, the drawing that you have here is the one that is on the. From the right of way to the lake.
yes, ma'am.
Well, Sarah's reviewing that. Could you do us a favor and date and initial the drawing, the original that you gave?
Absolutely.
That way, there's no confusion 18 months from now, which is the most current.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Six, 7, 16, 26.
That way Hans isn't scratching his head wondering which of these two sets of drawings the planning board actually approved.
Right,
Um,
I'm sorry, my drawings isn't great.
that's good enough.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so, and then from the present structure to the new structure, there's gonna be an added bedroom. One more.
Yeah, and it's probably, in all honesty, it's probably gonna have a furnace and hot water heater in it, but. The septic was for this was. It's just me and my wife, we have no kids, no nothing like the cat. He sleeps with me, so.
Hopefully you don't have any mice as a result.
No, I hope not. He's a good cat, I'm man's best friend, it's not necessarily a dog, the cat, I've always been a dog person, my whole life, overachievers. And he had, mother's place in Boothbay. My mother went out and found a cat with a bunch of babies. And collecting all the babies up, so they would survive, because there's a lot of, you wouldn't think so on the coast, we've had a bear, we've had a moose. And fishes, there's a fisher that was. He killed one of the kittens, and my father was out for blood on the fisher. And it was pretty disgusting, but anyway, yeah, so we gathered them all up, found homes for him. We kept the only male, and he's 14 now. Wow, hope he keeps going, nobody.
Right, so, any further questions from the board on this application? I think the application's complete for me.
Yeah, appreciate providing the new drawings.
Yes, sir, thank you, yep.
So we're ready to find a fact and conclusion of law. Right. So. Same process we had before here with the previous applicant. Mr. Anger, okay?
Have a motion. Complete application.
No, we only do that for commercial
Okay.
and for the subdivisions. I get confused too.
I know.
Take me some time to settle with that. So, we're gonna proceed now that the application is complete and we had all the information. We're gonna proceed to the findings of fact and conclusion of law. And this is for the applicant Bruce Enberg. Applicant address is 85 Lynch Cove Drive, map 22, lot 3. And as I asked Mr. Dion, it's a little bit boring, just bear with us, okay?
Sure.
So findings of fact, the applicants on June 22nd applied for a shoreline zone permit for a demo and rebuilt camp on a non-conforming lot. I think the board didn't quite express this publicly, but we understand that this is probably the most what is the statement that we use as the camp have been moved to the most
Practical.
practical extent of where it can be located. It's right, it's almost, the road is right behind the camp, so to speak. Right,
Well, and the wastewater system.
it's behind it as well. So the applicant was presented to the planning board on July 2nd and July 16th. And these findings of fact and conclusion of law were developed in conjunction with consideration of the permit application. Based on conclusion of law, based upon the application materials, testimony, statements, evidence, documents, and all the materials submitted to it, and the above findings of fact, the Belgrade Planning Board finds that the project is permitted. Number 15A1, principal structure on a non-conforming lot used under section 14, table 1 in the ordinance, and further makes the following conclusion based on the applicable provisions of 16D of the ordinance. Will maintain safe and healthy conditions. The board found the standard was met based on public record and submittals. And we're gonna call that PRAS from now on. So we're gonna vote on this one. Yes is for favoring. And O is for oppose. So we'll maintain safe and healthy conditions. Any discussion? I hear none. We're gonna vote, Mr. Sakara,
Yes.
Mr. Morale, Mr. Shield,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander,
Yes.
and me, Sarah Langetti, slide in favor, none opposed. Will not result in water pollution, erosion, sedimentation to surface waters. The vote found the standard was met based on PRAS. And we're gonna vote. Mr. Sakara,
Yes.
Ms. Morale, Mr. Shield,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander,
Yes.
and Ms. Sarah Langetti, slide in favor, none opposed. Will adequately provide for disposal of wastewater. The board found the standard was met based on PRAS. And we're gonna vote, Mr. Sakara,
Yes.
Mrs. Morale. Yes. Mr. Shield,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander,
Yes.
and Mr. Langetti, slide in favor, none opposed. Will not have an adverse impact on spawning ground fish, aquatic life, bird and other wildlife habitat. The board found this standard was met based on PRAS. We're voting, Mrs. Sakara,
Yes.
Mrs. Morale.
Yes.
Mr. Steele,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander,
Yes.
and Ms. Sarah Langetti, slide in favor, none opposed. Will conserve shore cover and visual as well as actual point of access in to inland waters. This standard, the board found this standard to be met based on PRAS. We're voting Mr. Sakara,
Yes.
Mrs. Morale.
Yes.
Mr. Seal,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander,
Yes.
and Ms. Sarah Langetti, slide in favor, none opposed. Will protect archaeological and historic resources as designed in the comprehensive plan. The board found this standard was met based on PRAS. We are voting Mrs. Sakara,
Yes.
Mrs. Morale,
Yes.
Mr. Seal,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander,
Yes.
and Ms. Cheryl Langetti, slide in favor, none opposed. Will avoid problems associated with floodplain development and use. The board found this standard was met based on PRAS. We voted, Mr. Sakara,
Yes.
Mrs. Morale, Mrs. Seal,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander,
Yes.
and Mr. Rodriguez, 5 in favor, none opposed. Page 2. Is in accordance with the provisions of section 15 land use standards. The board found that this standard was met based on evidence in the record as and further as follows. So we're gonna read through a number of sections here, and we're gonna determine which ones do apply. Number A is minimum lot size applies. Principal and accessory structures applies. Campgrounds is NA. Individual private camps. Did I hear that this was part of a condominium or something like that, sections that were bought?
No.
No?
Not,
Okay, NA,
not in our lifetime.
no, NA. Commercial and industrial uses, NA. Parking areas, NA. Road and driveways, NA. Signs, NA. Stormwater runoff, that's applicable. Septic waste disposal system, that's applicable. Essential services, NA. Mineral exploration and extraction, you got gold there?
No, not I found.
NA. Agriculture, NA. Timber harvesting and land management, road, NA. Clearing or removal of vegetation for activities other than timber harvesting, NA. Hazard trees, storm damaged trees, dead trees removal, NA. Exceptions to clearing and vegetation removal requirements, NA. Removal, revegetation requirements. Now, there's a movement of that camp to the back and about. About 24 feet in front of that camp. It was where the camp was. So all that is gonna be kind of flat and dirt, that have to be
Revegetated.
revegetated, I would say.
Yeah, well, it's depending on the percentage, right?
It is required to be revegetated.
So then that revegetation requirements, that applies. Okay. And that will be in front of the camp, those 24 feet in front of the camp. 24 feet in front. Okay. Of new camp.
To the front and to the side, right?
Yeah,
Or where existing camp was, or whatever, however you want to say it.
okay, I'll put that as actually better language, where the system can was located. Thank you. Erosion and sedimentation control, that's applicable. Shoreline stabilization, that's applicable. Soils. That's NA. Thank you. Water quality, applicable. Historical and archaeological sites is NA. And resource protection is NA. So, on this one, we're gonna vote on the following. The board found that the standard was made based on the following: minimum lot size, principal and accessory structures, stormwater runoff, septic waste disposal systems, revegetation requirements, erosion and sedimentation control, shoreline stabilization, and water quality. We ready to vote? So, any further discussion? Mr. Carl,
Yes.
Mrs. Morale.
Yes.
Mr. Seal.
Yes.
Mr. Alexander.
Yes,
And me, Sarah Longoria, five in favor, none opposed. So conditional approval needed to meet required Belgrade Shoreline Zone findings of in section 16D. Manage stormwater runoff from new or expanding structures in accordance to section 15I of the Belgrade Shoreline Zone Ordinance and the Maine Department of Environmental Protection, DEP. So those are the so-called best management practices. And those are outlined in the conservation practices of the homeowner publication. And we usually have Mr. Alexander tell you what is the best way to go about
yeah,
that.
and they have it, he has it in his application, he's got checked off, drip line trench. Which is a trench of crushed stone, usually 6 inches deep. Along your drip line.
So we had that condition, number one. Number two is that the planning board approval of this project is limited to that described in the application and depicted in the accompanying site plan and other application submissions. Any changes or deviation from the application's site plan and other application submissions as approved by the planning board must be reviewed must receive prior approval by the board, including but not limited to changes to the proposed location, footprint, and height of structures, sections in the number of changes in the numbers of bedrooms, roads, driveways, parking wells, surface waste water disposal system, the extent and location of the vegetated areas, tree cutting or natural vegetation clearing, methods or soil erosion control and storm water runoff control. So that's number two. Number three. For all construction projects located within the 100 horizontal feet of the normal high water line of a great pond or 75 feet from a wetland or other water body and located in woody vegetation. The project shall comply with the clearing included clearing and vegetation removal report performance standards in section 1502 of the ordinance. This shall include the protection of existing vegetation under 3 feet in height, ground coverage plant and leaf litter and duff layer which makes up the forest floor. The covering or filling of the forest floor with project excavation material or other fill not specifically included in the permit application and approved by the planning board or the code enforcement is prohibited. Incidental damage to vegetation and forest floor during approved construction shall be rehabilitated in accordance with the requirements of section 15R5 and 6 prior to the occupation of or use of the permitted structure. The CEO shall be informed upon completion of the planting of woody vegetation and restoration of the forest floor. This condition of approval does not apply to projects approved by and located in the resource protection zone where different ordinance requirements apply. So that's a check. That also is part of the conditions of approval. You are within the 100 horizontal feet allocated for where the project is going to be. So now we're going to go for the whole application.
Sure.
Yes.
I was just wondering, the issue that you brought up, you want to consider the board consider a condition of approval that all bare soils that result from the project be revegetated.
Sure. That's a great way to put it together there. So, that would be the condition.
Yeah, here's some language to think about. All bare soils resulting from the project shall be revegetated prior to the occupation of the new structure.
I'll take that.
That's already part of the ordinance. That's already part of the ordinance.
But it's more explicit here. I. I'll read it. I'll be forward to put it in here. Yes. Or bare soils. Resulting. Project. Shall be. Revegetated. Prior. To. Right,
Yes.
So the difference between, I mean, Hans was correct, of course, the difference here is who set the deadline. The ordinance doesn't provide a concrete deadline.
all right. So, based on the above findings of fact and conclusion of law on the date of 7/16/26. The town of Belgrade planning board did approve. By vote, the shorter premise application of. Mr. Anger. Bruce. Anger. With the above conditions and the meeting of 7/16/26. The available final fact and constitutional law adopted on the same day. So now we're gonna vote, this is the final vote. Any questions or discussions? Mrs. Zakaro,
Yes.
Mrs. Morale,
Yes.
Mr. Shield,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander.
Yeah.
And Mr. Langes, five in favor, none opposed. You had a permit, right? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir, thank you.
So those findings of fact and laws will come with your permit, if you have a copy of them.
Okay. Yep.
Oh, that's fine.
Oh, yeah.
So Mr. Amber, we never seen anybody so happy all getting in front of.
You know, it came to. My parents passed away, when my mother first, and followed me and my father, I inherited the house. And it's on the ocean, and it's 14 rooms, and it's on one of the best streets in Boothbay Harbor. And it's beautiful, it really is, I could throw a walk from the front lawn into the ocean, see all the sailboats go by, it's got a duck pond. And I've been coming up here since I was a baby, and to me, there was no comparison. I told my wife, can keep them both, I'm like, hell no. I'm at the end of my working career, but you know, my body's wrecked, I'd be surprised if I live. Gotta have one or the other, and for me, it was a no-brainer up here. I'd much prefer to be on the lake than I would there in the ocean,
And I concur with that.
yeah.
Gee, that's a little mean.
Imagine it's pretty crowded down there right now, huh?
Oh, it's awful. And you know, it got to the point, my father, beautiful place, my father said. I've had enough, it's a 20-mile driveway, you get off Route 1, and now there's nothing for the locals. After Labor Day, all the restaurants close. You gotta go to Moody's, like my father said, you gotta drive half an hour to get a piece of pie and coffee. The restaurants only are interested in the summertime, big money, you can't get it, cheeseburger, $18, $20, everything closes after Labor Day, we got one gas station. And when I first moved down there, it was 3,500 in the wintertime and 30,000 in the summertime, now it's 4,000 and like 65,000, you can't take any more. The fire department is, I mean, the sponge is full, there isn't room for one more drop of water. And getting down that road, halfway down the Boothbay Road, we're looking for the hotels that aren't for another 20 miles. 16 to 35 miles an hour or 50 miles.
So your insurance was last year, probably.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and the maintenance, that house,
What's the rooms?
yeah, it's a
So
whole.
on itself.
I was very lucky, I was glad to get rid of it, and very lucky to get rid of it. Not one person. 14 in the house, beautiful, all new. I put every bit of my inheritance, $280,000 into the house to fix up to sell it. Because my dad was a businessman and didn't do much in the line of maintenance or work outside of his job. And not one person looked at that house, not one, and I couldn't believe it, so I won't call it a mansion, but it's kind of a mansion. And the guy at the end of the point, he's a Texas oil man, and I knew he had a lot of money, but I was told by my real estate, he's not a millionaire, he's 100 millionaire. And he bought it, and I don't know what he's gonna do with it.
Tore it down in his.
Well, he wanted to make a cul-de-sac, and he said to my father, he said to Bruce, will you ask your father, when my father was alive, would he be offended if I tore the house down? And I'm like, it's only 15 years old, I'll ask him, and my father said, once the check clears, I'll drive the bulldozers, so.
There you
Yeah,
go.
but he fixed it up, he put a fortune in, he fixed it up.
Okay.
He's got 2 kids, I think they want the kids out of the main house and, but he had a driveway, can you imagine how much this cost? He had his driveway made of cobblestones and done right, and then his dock got torn away in a storm, and again, been there for years. $175,000 for a new dock, I mean, he doesn't gribble, I mean, his money's no object. So I was lucky I had him. Because not one person looked at that house, I painted it outside, I had it done, I painted the inside myself. I recarpeted it, it was, built in the 80s, so it needed to be spruced up a little bit inside, I put a brand new,
I mean, when you put it on the market, nobody came to see it.
not one person, not even at the open house, and I had Tyndall and Callahan, which is the place. If you're gonna sell a place in Buford Harbor, you have Tyndall and Callahan, you aren't gonna sell it.
Wow.
And I put a brand new boiler in it, I went to Maine Maritime and at one time I was half family smart, and when my father died, I noticed it was belching black smoke coming up through, it wasn't, so I had the chimney cleaned, it wasn't that. So I called the expert and he said, and I'm quoting him, he said, your father was brilliant, genius level IQ, but he was a jury rigger. I told him 15 years ago to replace that boiler, that it was bad. And because he knows a little bit about a lot of things, he just keeps jury rigging it. Now you inherit it. He said, I won't touch it. If the house burns flat, I'm on hook for it. I won't touch it. It needs to come out. So I set a date to have him take it out. And I decided I was going to be smarter than to be like my father. And I went out there and I was watching it, seeing what the cause of it was. And all the flaps on the furnace, 250,000 BTU kept popping open. I said, all right, I know what I'm gonna do with that. I'm gonna hold them shut. So and I was turning the furnace off at the end of the day, just turn it on, take showers. Well, I turned it on. Boom! It blew all the doors off the furnaces, and I said, oh geez, I'm in trouble. So I shut everything off and I called up and had it replaced and I helped him do it. And it was, but I dodged a bullet because it was closing those vents. And then light it off, the gas is built up in there, you can imagine.
Hey, Bruce, so, Hans will take care of your permit,
Okay,
right? And, you all set to go?
all right, thank you, everybody.
Yeah,
Thank you for your time. Thank you, Hans.
Later.
Everybody,
thank you.
thank you for putting up with us.
Don't forget.
I will, thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Might have a second career in drawing.
Oh, yes. I was, at one time I was all right in a few things, but,
Right, item C in the agenda tonight is, the applicant is Michael Bellinger. Location is 44 Avina Shores, map 27, lot 3A. The purpose is a span, shoreline zone, span is existing from deck. And I just, let me finish the application of reading here.
Sure.
So the specific location is 44 Avina Shores. The lake is Great Pond. Foreign use of the property is residential. Proposed construction or change in use is a span existing from deck. And ask to look at the sketches and description, which are very nice. Existing sewer disposal system type and capacity is a septic with leach field. Present numbers of rooms is 3. Bedrooms to be added in the application is 0. When did the purchase of the property happen in the shoreline zone? It was in 2019, September of that year. So if after November 18, a copy attached to the septic system inspection report is there, so it was replaced in October 2019. Total acreage is 0.31 acres. Lot area within the shoreline zone is 0.31 acres. Square footage of unvegetated surface within the shoreline zone, including all structures, driveway, parking, walkways, and patios, is 2,124 square feet, not including the driveway. With the total area clearing openings of woody vegetation is NA. Total number of structures in the lots is 2. Proposed structure square footage is 2124, and proposed structure square footage is 2159. So with that, I want to declare that this gentleman is a neighbor to me in Avina Shores, and for such, I'm gonna recuse myself from the voting on this application. And we know each other socially, that's the main reason behind it. With that, I open the floor for the applicant to talk to us about this project.
One word, finally. So the application first started off is, we wanted to expand the existing deck in front. It's not much of an expansion. The expansion totaled 34 square feet. Since we're in a shoreline zone and regulations are pretty sensitive if you do anything in a shoreline zone, we decided that, we're gonna submit the permit to make sure everything's above board, and so no questions asked later on. As we started putting this together, it's a little bit more than just expanding the deck. We're replacing the entire pergola in front of the house. That's what we're proposing, and if you take a look at,
It fell down.
it was pretty rotted. The floorboards on the deck are all, rotted, we're punching through, and so we decided that we're just going to replace the whole thing. And what we're looking for is replacing it pretty much in kind. But we divided the application into 2 parts to make it kind of like easier to understand. And at least on the deck wise, basically, there's a couple of gravel areas right in front of the house, and you can see that in the pictures. And basically what we're doing there is we're just going to rebuild the deck, and we're gonna cover the that existing gravel area. So we're not really expanding the deck towards the lake, we're just going to be covering over an existing gravel area. And knowing how sensitive the regulations are, what we are going to do is there's in front of the deck, there's like a little extension that goes out like about like 6 or 7 feet. And what we're going to do is just, we're going to eliminate that. So that, you know, it kind of offsets what we're gonna be putting on in front of the house, so. The total net square footage gain is only 34 square feet. So it's, I would consider that, you know, just like very minor.
Maybe, if you look at this picture. So this is the front of the house facing the lake, and you can see where the gravel is. For me, it's a safety hazard. We have a very large extended family, lots of little ones, and my dad has a lot of neuropathy. And so if you're walking out and it's just all deck versus deck stepping down into gravel, it's still safer, less of a tripping hazard.
Yeah, and we're not getting any younger too.
Yeah, that's
We can all say that.
right.
So that's part one of the application. The other part of the application is replacing the top of the pergola. And so, what we were, looking to do is, instead of having the board like they are vertically stacked, you know, we were looking at, covering it. And that would probably be like an asphalt or a metal type roof. It would not be enclosed. And it would cover the same areas what the pergola is right now. So we're not looking to expand it. All we're doing is just changing the character of the pergola a little bit to have it covered for shape. So that pretty much summarizes what we're looking for. I think in the application, I think that I unfortunately made a couple mistakes. In one of the sketches, I said that the deck is 340 feet from the lake. It is not 340 feet. I accidentally added a 0. It's actually 34 feet. So I just wanted to be clear on that. And I think there were some of the calculations or some of the deck expansion or the deck areas. They're either a little bit confusing or it's off in some of the calculations. Bottom line is of the 34 square feet, net increase still remains the same.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if it's 340 feet, you don't belong here tonight.
Yeah.
I'd say that, but
Don't you have anything better to do with your time?
Right? Yeah, we're still trying to get to the grill and time for a burger. It's gonna be awesome.
Hans, and I think, you know, some of you have already been or seen the place, you know, one way or another, and so I don't think I'd be able to get away with that. I had.
So now I open the floor for discussion of the board. Any questions, concerns?
It's all impervious anyways. And we're actually lessening the impervious area. By taking away the deck. In the front.
Well, it could be argued that we're making the structure less non-conforming.
Yeah.
I have 2 things that Craig's done. One is I would just note there's no stormwater management plan, so we'll need to use the standard condition of approval for that. And like in the last application, and it's only for the new roof, not the existing structure, because we don't have any jurisdiction over that. To capture that stormwater and infiltrate it into the ground, and as Craig mentioned earlier, an infiltration trench might be your best bet. But there's a menu of choices in DEP's best management practices that are available on the town website.
Can you say exactly what it is for the stormwater?
Management,
Correct, yeah, I was fine with that.
Your builder probably will.
With that,
Your builder will probably be familiar with them as well.
I'm building myself.
Oh, I,
Or, you know, for the roof part, I'll probably have it contracted out, that's a little bit more beyond my skill of it.
Basically,
so that's easily addressed. My more substantive question, and this is gonna seem kind of petty, but
Yeah.
the amount of square footage of unvegetated surface area, as Sarah noted, and is noted on your application, doesn't include your driveway or parking area. And given the small size of the lot, lot area inside the shoreline zone, you're under the ordinance, you're allowed 20% of your shoreline zone area in unvegetated surfaces. You're at 15, almost 16% now, without the driveway. And so knowing what the driveway is kind of critical in my mind, because that means you only have about 670 square feet without the leeway between what you have now, which is the 24 square feet, and the 2,700 square feet that is 20%. So I think unless Hans knows those figures, I'm gonna need to know what that square footage is. Make sure that.
May I make something or an observation on that?
Sure. No, absolutely.
When you're talking about a non-vegetated surface, right now, we would actually be increasing the vegetated surface by 34 square feet, because we're gonna be taking off the front part of the deck. Right now, the area that we're expanding into, if you can call it really an expansion, is already gravel. So it's already non-vegetated. So really, we're actually putting back into service, for lack of better words, 34 square feet of vegetation.
Yep, no, I agree with that. I agree with that. Never mind, thank you. Something to keep in mind though for the future. Because
Yes,
you're butting right up against that 20% standard.
in my defense, I wasn't aware of that particular regulation. I just thought, hey, we're talking about like 34 square feet out of 2,000 square feet. I mean, that wouldn't have any impact at all on the application or the decision. However, I'm now aware how it can impact the decision.
It may not be an issue, without knowing the square footage of the driveway, which, looks to me to be about 88 feet if your drawings are to scale. 88 times, 12 foot wide driveway. Not a lot of margin to play with there. But for this, it's not an issue. Satisfied with that, thank you.
Any further discussion on this? So, we will proceeding with the findings of fact and conclusion of law.
I think so.
Then copies of that.
I agree.
Application says expand existing front deck.
Yeah.
And he's saying it's gonna take it off, right? And give him the map.
He's gonna spin sideways.
Expanding
Backwards.
wherever the
Back-
deck is, I'm kind of expanding into the house.
Yeah, filling it in.
Yeah,
Filling it in, there you go, that's a good way to
So-
start.
All this used to be. You know. So he's replacing basically, but he's getting rid of this.
Okay.
So it's making a non-conforming, actually more than,
Right.
if he cannot, from here forward, he cannot do anything,
Right. That's the lake.
yeah.
Yeah.
On both sides of the stairs. Right?
Yeah, on both sides of the stairs, yeah.
Or look for Hans.
You know, there's some water. I need some water, I always forget to get water.
maybe caffeine.
Well, I'm good with caffeine, I think caffeine I'm gonna be out on wire till two or three in the morning.
I even have a. You know, wrap it open.
What do you have there, peptides?
Yeah.
You know, my kids don't wanna have us to use anything that's plastic. Don't want us to drink, plastic bottles, don't want us to use,
Ziploc bags.
no, none of that, they don't want anything that's plastic. Containers,
That's what it does.
in the fridge, cutting boards that are plastic, we have to get rid of all of it.
We buy cases of water, plastic bottle water, and then just like drop them off and just leave them in the sun. The sun just. Side, I'm not trying for that.
No, we should,
All the plastic leaches from the sun.
yeah,
Literally melts.
yeah,
That thing in the shade, get those in the shade, someone put those inside, sit out in the sun.
we're just holding off, we're kind of taking a bladder break. If anybody needs it.
What year was this camp built?
That's a good question. I mean, we bought it in 2019, and I'm not sure when it was built, probably early 70s, I think.
Yeah.
And I think it's been expanded on since it was built.
Okay, so we're gonna proceed with the findings of fact and conclusion of law. Application and shoreline permit. Applicant name is Michael Bellinger. Applicant address is 44 Avena Shores, map 27, lot 3A. Findings of fact. Applicants on 7/16/2026 apply for the shoreline zone permit to expand an existing deck. Actually, it should say also, should say replace an existing deck. The application was presented to the planning board on 7/16/2026. This findings of fact and conclusion of law were developed in conjunction with consideration of the permit application. Conclusions of law. Based upon the application materials, testimony, statements, evidence, documents, and all the materials submitted to it, and the above finding of fact, the Belgrade Planning Board finds that the finding of fact is permitted according to number 15(1)(a)(1), principal structures on a non-conforming lot use under section 14, table 1 in the ordinance, and further makes the following conclusions based on the applicable provisions of section 16D of the ordinance. Will maintain safe and healthy conditions. The board found this standard was met based on public records and submittals, which we're gonna call from now on PRAS. For voting, Mr. Sakara.
Yes.
Mrs. Morel. Mr. Seal,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander.
Yes.
So it's, and I, Sir Longet, we're gonna abstain, is 4 in favor, none opposed, 1 abstain. Will not result in water pollution, erosion, sedimentation, surface waters. The board found the standard was met based on PRAS. Any further discussion? Here none. We're voting, Mr. Sakara.
Yes.
Mrs. Morales, Mr. Seal,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander.
Yes.
So it's 4 in favor, none opposed, and Mr. Longet, I'm gonna abstain. Will adequately provide for the disposal of all waters, wastewaters. The board found the standard was met based on PRAS. We're gonna vote, Mr. Sakara.
Yes.
Mrs. Morale.
Yes.
Mr. Seal,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander.
Yes.
So it's 4 in favor and none opposed, and Mr. Longet gonna abstain. Will not have an adverse impact on spawning grounds, fish, aquatic life, birds, and other wildlife habitat. The board found the standard was met based on PRAS. We're voting, Mr. Sakara.
Yes.
Mr. Morale.
Yes.
Mr. Seal,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander.
Yes.
And it's 4 in favor, none opposed, and Mr. Longet, I'm gonna abstain. Will conserve shore, cover, and visual, as well as actual points of access into inland waters. The board found the standard was met based on PRAS. We're gonna vote, Mrs. Sakara,
Yes.
Mrs. Morale,
Yes.
Mr. Seal,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander.
Yes.
So it's 4 in favor, none opposed, 1 abstain.
Sarah, I'm sorry to interrupt, but
Sure.
couldn't or and shouldn't Nick be voting since you're abstaining?
Well, that's a good question, but we set the meeting to be the 5 of us today. I don't know, you might be right on that. And when we voted, you had the right to abstain. When we are 5 in the board,
Right.
so you record that like so.
But 5 would be better, because if it's 2 no's and 2 yeses, you have the 5th vote,
Correct.
you have the tiebreaker. On one of these, if her and I voted no and they voted yes, you would need, you're abstaining, you need a 5th to break the tiebreaker.
Okay, so then I will have to refrain myself from the forum.
From what?
I am part of the forum today. So I have to refrain we're
Well,
stopping.
only in this,
Yeah.
only with regard to this one application.
We still have the quorum for the
Okay.
meeting, but just
Okay.
for this one application.
So we're gonna have to restart the voting then.
Sure.
I just gonna follow facilitate the voting. But I'm gonna since I'm recusing myself from voting, I'm gonna have Nick be involved in the voting then.
Yeah.
Okay.
I apologize, I didn't think of that.
I'm glad you bring it over, so we're only 5 down. So
May I just interject just for a quick second?
what,
Since you already have a quorum, do you really need a substitution? You already have.
Well, yes,
you got
because
five- you got
we're
five
voting,
members.
we're voting individually on these, and if in theory, there could be 2 no's and 2 yeses. So we would need a 5th for the tiebreaker.
Is the 5th person here?
Yeah.
yeah, so Nick, you heard that?
Yeah, sorry,
Yes, I did.
Okay, so we were already number 5th, so we're gonna just go over those for you, just to hear that you are voting in favor or against, okay?
Yes.
Okay, number one, will maintain safe and healthful conditions.
Yes.
Yes, okay, we got 5 here. Will not result in water pollution, erosion, sedimentation to surface waters.
Yes.
Okay. So it's 5 in favor. Right, will adequate provide for disposal of all waters.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Will not have any adverse impact in spawning grounds, fish, aquatic life, birds, or other wild habitat.
Yes.
Thank you. Will construct shore cover and visual and as well as actual points of access to inland waters.
Yes.
Thank you. So is that so far having all 5 in favor, none opposed. Okay, number 6. Will protect archaeological and historical resources as designated in the comprehensive plan. We are voting. Mr. Sakara,
Yes.
Mrs. Morale.
Yes.
Mr. Shield,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander,
Yes.
Mr. Nick Alexander.
Yes.
All right, so it's 5 in favor, none opposed. Will avoid problems associated with floodplains, development and use. We're voting. Mr. Sakara,
Yes.
Mrs. Morale,
Yes.
Mr. Shield,
Yes.
Mr. Greg Alexander,
Yes.
Mr. Nick Alexander.
Yes.
There's 5 in favor, none opposed. Is in conformance with provisions of section 15, land use standards. Okay, this one, the board found that the standard was met based on the evidence in the record and furthers as follows. So we have to pick which one of those do apply. So minimum lot standards applies, principal accessory structures applies, campgrounds, NA, individual private campsites, NA, commercial individual uses, NA, parking areas, NA, roads and driveways, NA, signs, NA, stormwater runoff, applicable. Septic waste disposal systems, NA. Essential services, NA. Mineral exploration and extraction, NA. Agriculture, NA. Timber harvesting and land management roads, NA. Clearing and removal vegetation activity other than timber harvesting, NA. Hazard trees or stormwater trees or dead trees removal, NA. Exceptions to clearing and vegetation removal requirements. So, that little section in the front that they're taking the deck and leave it natural, that will have to be reviewed.
Vegetate that.
Thank you, yes, it's just a little area.
Hydrangeas counted.
All right. So that actually was for the vegetation requirements. I swapped this thing around. So this one is NA and this one is good. Right. So exceptions to clearing and vegetation removal requirements is NA, but vegetation requirements is applicable. Erosion and sedimentation control. That's NA. Erosion and sedimentation, no, that's applicable to erosion and sedimentation control.
Well, there's not gonna be any excavation, is
Yeah,
there?
I don't think it's out.
Okay, NA. Shoreline stabilization. Soils, NA. Water quality. Applicable. Historical and archaeological sites, NA. Resource protection, NA. So. We're gonna vote now. So, the board found this standards was met based on evidence and records as follows. Minimum lot size standards, principal and accessory structures, stormwater runoff, rehabilitation requirements, and water quality. So we're gonna vote now. Mr. Sakara,
Yes.
Mrs. Morale, Mr. Steele,
Yes,
Mr. Craig Alexander,
Yes,
Mr. Nick Alexander,
Yes.
5 in favor, none opposed. Alright. Conditions of approval needed to meet with, requirements, of various shoreline zone ordinance findings in section 16D. Manage stormwater runoff from new or expanded structures in accordance with section 15(1) of the Belgrade Shoreline Zoning Ordinance and the Maine Department of Environmental Protection, DEP, best management practices as outlined in the conservation practices of for homeowner applications. Such measures are to be put in place prior to building use. And again, we have Craig Alexander usually give us the best one, easy one to use.
yeah,
So-
it's still a drip line, so where the water runs off, it's ground. It's usually at least a foot, maybe 16 inches wide, 6 inches deep. Just crushed stone.
Yeah, we're also thinking maybe, putting in gutters.
Gutters are, gutters are good,
Okay.
drip line's better.
Drip line.
Or, I mean, even with gutters, you would need to do the drip line to be in compliance.
yeah.
And you'd have to do some sort of catch basin for them.
Yeah.
We try to lean away from gutters that close to the lake.
Okay. So, the second, condition of approval is that the planning board approval of this project is limited to the described in the application and depicted in the accompanying site plans and other applicant submissions. Any changes to or deviations from the application, site plan, or other applicant submissions as approved by the planning board must receive prior approval by the board, including but not limited to changes to the proposed location, footprint and height of structures, changes in the number of bedrooms, roads and driveways, parking, wells, subsurface wastewater disposal system, the extent and location of vegetarian areas, tree cutting and natural vegetation clearing, methods of erosion control and stormwater runoff control. All right, is that condition understood? Good. Then the final one here, which is applicable, is for all construction projects located within the 100 horizontal feet of normal water height line of a great pond, or 75 feet from a wetland or other water body, and located in woody vegetation. The project shall comply with the clearing and vegetation removal performance standards of section 1502 of the standard. This shall include the protection of existing vegetation under 3 feet in height, ground cover plants, and leaf litter and dog layer, which makes up the forest floor. The covering or filling of the forest floor with project excavation materials and other fields will not specifically include in the permit application and approved by the planning board or the CEO is prohibited. Incidental damage to vegetation and the forest floor during the approved construction shall be rehabilitated in accordance with the requirements section 15R5 and 6 prior to the occupancy and use of the permitted structure. The CEO shall be informed upon completion of the planting of the wood vegetation and restoration of the forest floor. This condition of approval does not apply to projects approved and located in a resource protection zone where different ordinance requirements do apply. Do we have an additional condition of approval?
Well, again, you brought up the issue of revegetation of the small area.
Yeah.
That's gonna, where the existing portion of the deck is gonna be removed.
Yeah.
Revegetated, so.
We are allowed to that?
Do something similar.
Yeah.
The question first, though, you said you were doing this work yourself. Are you gonna be doing it this summer or, cause the permit's good for 2 years?
Yeah, I'm doing it for summertime.
Cause two options in terms of how we word this. One, in terms of a deadline of revegetating that small area out furthest, closest to the lake. It could be done, like we did in the last one, where it'd be prior to the use of the new structure, or it could be by a date certain, like September 30th or something like that.
I would hate to commit to a certain date because when I first started doing some of this stuff, I thought it was gonna take like a couple months and it.
Yeah.
Take it on over
I know what you mean.
I'm certainly willing to commit to as soon as the structure is built, that area will be reseeded before we use the porch. Would that be acceptable?
Yes, so I would suggest all bare soils resulting from the project shall be reseeded prior to use of the new structure.
Okay, so we got 4 conditions of approval. So now comes the final vote. And based on the above findings of fact and conclusion of law on July 16, 2026, Town of Belgrade approve by vote the shoreline zone permit application of Michael Bellinger. With the above conditions and the meeting of 7/16/26. Developed with the written findings of fact and conclusion of law adopted on these findings on 7/16/26. So we're gonna vote, final vote here. Mr. Sakara,
Yes.
Mrs. Morale,
Yes.
Mr. Seal,
Yes.
Mr. Craig Alexander,
Yes.
Mr. Nick Alexander.
Yes.
So it's 5 in favor, none opposed. Permit was granted. And you just gotta talk to Hans and
I'll email it to you tomorrow.
Great.
from there. Congratulations.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Now you come up and shake our hands.
You can go straight to the,
It's go to the grill.
Thank you guys for your time.
Thank you, Nick.
What?
So, next one is the subdivision checklist. Next, item on the,
Must be in a hurry.
next item on the agenda is subdivision checklist. So,
Quick question, George, the language in the ordinance about revegetation, it has to be done before the permit expires, right? That's-
Yeah,
And what we're doing is the same before you use the deck.
yeah, right, yeah, just. I think of it from the perspective of Hans, that it'd be easy, it's easier to enforce if somebody decides, nah.
Yeah, the ordinance says it's before occupation, right?
I think it's before it expires, before the permit expires.
expires.
So you can build it and not revegetate it as long as the permit's not expired, I believe.
Yeah, but once you start the construction, the permit's good until the construction's complete.
Right,
So if you go beyond the 2 years, if this construction project goes beyond the life of the permit,
right, but if it was
There's-
a bigger scope of work, they might finish that one section using that, and what George is saying is now you're using that area, you need to revegetate, even if you have other work over here.
yeah.
I mean, my intent at least is to encourage them. Require them basically to do that as soon as
Yeah.
is feasible,
I was just trying to see what the difference was
Yeah.
between that.
yeah.
All right. So,
Thank you.
I'm gonna borrow your pen, just put one here. Let's see here. 7, 16, 6, Next. Good. You know, in both of the financial class, I didn't put the nominal votes. I put it in a separate space.
Will Nicholas have to come down and sign this or stamp it?
I think you have the majority of signatures here, so.
So I had to say 5, I had to say 5 here, but in the previous one I didn't.
During COVID, we actually were able to do electronic
Yeah.
signatures.
The only positive I hear from it. In court, if you report, live. So the court over then.
You signed it as chair, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So we wanna work on that checklist, or we're gonna, keep that item for now.
Well, the only reason I asked for it to be placed on the agenda was that, at least my feeling is, and this is based on a review of the last several subdivisions that we've had, which, you know, it's kind of amazing to me that we've had that many, because we went years without any. It would seem to me that we need to acknowledge the fact that, and as Craig is, that people are just not gonna read the ordinance. And they're not gonna do their homework, and other than those that are sort of professionals. And and that a tool, a guide, somebody like a Mr. Beyond, or somebody, some of the other applicants we've had, might be helpful. To at least kind of move the process along, rather than be sitting and reading the ordinance to people. Which gets pretty old. So I was thinking that a checklist would be a useful tool, both to the applicants, but also to the board. And if the board agreed, that they think likewise, I'd be willing to do a first draft, for consideration next month. I don't have much time this fall because I have a number of family weddings, including my son, but coming up, but I do have a window of opportunity in August and early September. And I've done a little bit of research just to get a feel of what might be out there, what other towns are using. I mean, it's all over the map. The town of Serrano's got a half-page checklist, and the town of North Yarmouth has got one that's 15 pages long.
Oh my God.
So, you know, if 15 pages long, it probably isn't a checklist anymore. You know, it's, and there's, and you may recall, or at least those of you that were on the board, like, Craig and I, and I can't remember who else might have been on the board at the time when we did that ordinance. It's based on a state model developed in 2010. But there's no state, the state never did a checklist. So there's nothing available at that level, but, I think, anyway, that's my thought. It really depends on what you folks.
Well, I'm gonna go back to the application because every applicant gets an application. And if we put a reference to these items that are not on the checklist or that gets glossed over, they're in the ordinance on the application, then the applicant has no choice but to address that line item. So I'm saying you merge your application in what's getting missed on the application that you want to see on a checklist. So in a way, to just expand the application.
All the other submittals that aren't part of the questions that are asked.
And whether that's an addendum on the end, that you say, please include the following. Or a waiver to these things.
Yeah, see, I mean, that's. I understand your point, Hans, because the goal is to get a complete application. I mean, the way the ordinance is crafted is it recognizes the fact that one subdivision is going to be different than the next subdivision, and some things apply to some and not to others. Like, for example, the one that we talked a little bit about earlier about whether or not you need to do a traffic study. You know, that all depends on, you know, the amount of traffic, which is the number of lots, number of homes, the number of people, number of vehicles, and all that good stuff. I have to admit, thinking quickly about it, I don't know how I would be able to do that without creating a pretty monumental document that is not much of a, not, you know, at that point, it's kind of like, or am I just rewriting the ordinance? I mean, a checklist could, I mean, I think a couple of checklists I looked at were crafted by, like, these are not Sorrento, but most of the towns that I found ones for online are towns that have a city engineer and they have a town planner. Even towns our size are smaller.
But do they have George Sale?
I just don't want to see a checklist that's redundant to the application. You know, if we go through the application, then the checklist shouldn't be doing the exact same things. I mean, that's what my goal would be, is to keep it simple on both accounts.
Well, in a sense, you have to do that. That's what I would say. You have to be redundant to the application in the sense that once they fill the application, they themselves can go through a checklist. Did I did this? Yeah, another, this.
So here's the
Would there be a
complication.
checklist that we're voting on? Or just a checklist to give to?
No, I mean, we would, like with other forms that we've adopted, this would require approval of the entire board.
Yeah.
And for it to go into use, I feel. And just like an application form does, or, you know, or the findings of fact of law and law.
Well, the thing that has been happening is that people have had to come back 2 and 3 meetings. Because of all these things that weren't included in the original application, and that's what you're trying to eliminate.
Yes, and also just some of the confusion. I mean, we're always gonna get applicants that, you know, they just don't have the wherewithal to and get it. Unfortunately. Well, and the money sometimes, true, yeah, but but, you know, to the extent we can make the process a little bit more efficient for us and less cumbersome for them, all the better. Maybe that's naive, I don't know.
So it's a catch-22, so to speak, because especially you are very familiar with these applications. Because you see them all the time. And it's the same as you are more in tune with the concept of enforcement. People will come and ask me, what's going on with this? That's not my zone, that's hands. So when we're more in tune with what we have to do day to day, it's obvious that it's an application, it don't have to be in the checklist. But when we see this applications and even the applicant see this application for the very first time, going through the application and then themselves going to the checklist. It's a good tune for themselves.
But it's still not helping your applicant, because if they go through the application and they're not looking page by page through the ordinance as they go, they're gonna submit what they think is a complete application, and we're gonna have the same thing that just happened to Mr. Dion occur, where, all right, we need this stormwater and all this other stuff. And that's on a checklist that we just pull out, but it's still after the fact.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
why I'm saying if you
The application
integrate it-
the checklists don't go with the application.
Yeah, you should integrate the checklist to the
Yeah.
application so that they know.
Oh, I thought that was the plan.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what I had in mind.
Okay.
Is, I mean, they might be two different documents, but it would be part of the application.
Yeah,
That's why I was asking, is this a checklist that you'll just give to the applicant?
Absolutely.
Not something that we go.
No,
through.
absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah, no, absolutely, yeah,
Well, it helps.
and that used to be the case too, under the ordinance that was, that preceded the 2018 revisions. There was a checklist for it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, so a checklist isn't actually anything we're gonna go over, it's just gonna be attached to the
Application.
application, we're gonna go over the application. Right, so,
Yeah, yeah.
Make sure that they have everything they need when they come to the board.
I'd be
mean,
interested to see what you come up with.
I mean, we could use it the way we use the one. I mean, we do have to make a completion finding,
Yeah,
right? So we could use it like we do in the commercial development review ordinance, where we have to also make a completion of application finding. We could use it for that purpose if you wanted.
yeah, the same sheet, we used to add another column. If the first column was checked by the applicant, the
Yeah.
second one was by us. Yeah,
Yeah, or and
but we're using the same sheet that the applicant used.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so that it would serve a dual purpose, you know, it
Yeah.
would benefit them and it would act as a cheat sheet for us.
Sure.
And it would help us determine whether we had a complete application. I mean, one of the complications, one of my frustrations with the subdivision ordinance. Is and to a lesser extent with the commercial development review ordinances, you have these performance standards that are. Separate from the submission requirements, and with it buried in those performance standards for additional submissions. That may or may not apply, you know, they're kind of like, well, they only apply if they apply. They're not across the board, but the submission requirements in the front of the ordinance are the ones that apply pretty much to everybody. And that's the tricky part as far as I'm concerned.
So we
But
have,
if you folks, you know, if you guys want me to take a whack at a first draft, I'd be happy to do that.
so we need a motion for that? We charge you with that?
Yeah, probably, I guess, yeah.
So I want to take a motion for that.
Make a motion that George come up with a draft checklist subdivisions.
I
Yes,
second
thank you. So we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? I hear none, so we're gonna vote. So Mrs.
that.
Sakara,
Yes.
Mrs. Morel,
Yes.
Mr. Shield,
Yes,
Mr. Alexander,
yes,
and Mr. Alexander says yes. There's 5 in favor, none opposed, and the motion carries.
George.
Yes.
don't thank me yet.
So item E, permit 26-2, amendment to eliminate second floor on 326 Sandy Cove. So we have a very thick document here. It's a document put together by Mr. Jeffrey Stiff.
No, the front page is a letter from him.
Okay,
And then second page, third page, they're basically illustrations to go along with the letter. And I just gave you a copy of the application on the back
that's right.
in case you needed to have your memories refreshed.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much. We should clarify that. So the big thing is that the very first one, 2, 3, 4 pages are the amendment to the permit that is in the bottom, that gives that a hands make sure that we have together so we can refresh our memory. So I will give you time for you guys to go over it. I'm comfortable with it. I went over it, I'm very comfortable with it. And then I will entertain a motion to accept the accept or not accept the changes proposed here.
Look too quick.
Well, it's the thing about this is that it's documented. And we know what's gonna be done for sure, the height and everything. So,
So I make a motion, we accept the amendment of the applicant of Jody and Stephen Jones to reduce. To remove the second floor of the garage.
A second.
so, can I clarify that the request is from Mr. Stiff? Is that the new owners now?
It says applicant Jody and.
That's the modified, the original applicant.
Mr. Steph, yes.
Yes,
You mean if that's Bob Jones' place?
yes, yeah.
Well, and apparently they created an LLC.
Just the way it went.
Wow.
So, so we get a motion and a second to accept the amendments from, Mr. Stiff, on this location. That will be, covered under the permit, 2006-02. So they can keep using that permit. Are we any further discussion?
The only thing I would bring up, just so that everybody thinks about this, is whether or not people feel findings of fact and law are necessary. I personally do not, because this is an amendment and the original findings of fact, although the vote would change, the ultimate conclusions would not on the original findings of fact and law.
I don't feel like we need a conclusion, findings of fact.
Me neither.
Just so that we discussed it is the only reason I bring it up.
I mean, if we would have to rerun that, I would say that the finding of fact, the vote would move more positively.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely, I would vote for it.
Yeah.
I voted
Me
against
too.
it before,
Me too.
but I think the basic conclusions of would not change.
You will not change, so. That's it. Right, we voted to accept the amendment. Mrs. Carr,
Yes.
Mrs. Morale,
Yes.
Mrs. Seer,
Yes,
Mr. Alexander,
Yes,
and Mr. Rodriguez, 5 in favor, none opposed, and the amendments are approved.
The motion was to accept the amendment.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right? So next item is all business, battery energy storage systems. I have some update on that. I was able to speak with, Dan McKenzie today. And I explained the situation that we have a lot of good information on the, energy storage systems. We have other ordinances from other places, but where we are hinged in is in understanding the capacity of our fire department. So we can put a cap on how big we're gonna allow the systems to exist in our town. So, he said that he would have no clue how big they can be according to the capacity of the fire department. He definitely knows that I think we have a audience from Gardner, all those with Gardner and,
Yes,
yeah, and, the other one was, what's a southern town from there? Besides Gardner.
where we have the state model ordinance.
So he expressed clearly that we cannot steer towards Gardner's ordinance in the capacity. Because they have like 20 firefighters full-time. That we don't have that here. So even when the towns are comparable in size, are they?
No.
Gardner,
Gardner's bigger population,
how much bigger?
certainly bigger commercially,
Well, they're kind of like a little suburb of Augusta. So
you know.
they're
I mean,
densely populated.
20.
20 versus us, we have only one or
I
two.
mean, they have a commercial center, which we don't have, so, you know, they have a lot more tax revenue.
So then, he has to look a little bit more into it, but officially he will be on the next meeting here, August 6th.
So they're about double our size in population,
Well, not in the summertime. Summertime, we should
Nobody goes to Gardner this summer.
Yeah, but
We double, I think, in the summer, right?
With
3,000.
3 times, we are 3 times, I'm sorry, yes. Yep. So, that is, an update on that, and then shoreline zone map status stay the same,
yeah, so we do something about it.
yep. So we will move on to the approval of, minutes of, July 2nd.
Take care.
The certification number for Bruce.
No, it's Dave Stevens, I think. 860.
Well, I'm good. Any changes to the minutes? No?
I just, last page, under the discussion regarding, this need, for permit for partial demo. Under the decision, the second line, I would suggest, clarifying that the stiffs are the new owners, so maybe that first, that sentences, start stiffs one, maybe add in front of that, new owners, comma. The stiffs want the top floor removed. And then, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, the fourth, sentence in that same paragraph at the very end says Nick voted no. I would just clarify that it was Nick Alexander.
I got one small one. Page 1. Discussion, the last sentence said George read from the code. George read from the ordinance.
Oh, yeah. Right here. From the ordinance, right here. George read
From the ordinance.
Okay. Any other changes? I hear none. So we're gonna vote now. So Nick cannot vote, because Nick was not here.
Yeah,
Oh.
Alexander.
Nick Alexander can vote, because Nick was here, but Nick, Sakara cannot vote. So, we're gonna vote now. So, Mrs. Morel,
Yes,
Mr. Shield,
Yes,
wait a minute.
motion.
Yeah.
oh, never mind,
I make a motion to approve minutes of July 2nd.
okay?
Understood.
So, let's start this again.
We need a second.
Yeah.
Oh, just.
Nick.
Nick second.
Okay,
So let's try this over. So, Ms. Morale,
yes.
Mr. Seal,
Yes.
Mr. Craig Alexander, Mr. Nick Alexander,
Yes.
yeah, and Mr. Longet is, 5 in favor, 4 in favor, no opposed. No, 5, yeah, never mind.
Time to go home.
So, all right, so we have some items here to be addressed in future discussions. We're gonna
Table it.
table them, right? So I'm gonna entertain motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
A second.
So we have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion? I hear none. Mr. Nick Sakara,
Yes.
Mrs. Morale,
Yes.
Mr. Seal.
Yeah.
Mr. Craig Alexander,
Yes.
and Mr. Longet, and Nick Alexander.
Yes.
Oh, yes, and we are done.
Night, Nicholas.
Night.
Right.
Yeah.